How you doing, folks? Wanted to talk about another film, a film that gets crapped on quite a bit often. Um, this one's gonna be a lot more controversial, a hell of a lot more controversial than my normal choices, which are already pretty controversial to begin with. That being the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 4, Next Generation. Okay, so about this film. Is it everyone's favorite? No. Do I think that it's good? No. Do I think that it has many flaws? Yes. It has multiple flaws. It's At one point I thought it was a pile of heaping dog shit, but truthfully, I've come to the conclusion after studying it a little bit, and I've realized the worst film in the franchise of Leatherface is not Next Generation. It's not. It's just simply not. The worst film is Leatherface from 2017, which I actually forget that this movie was made. I forget this movie was made so many damn times. It's just I don't even think of it as part of the franchise. I really don't. So I don't count that film. That film sucks. Fuck that film. But I can kind of get behind what they were trying to do. You know, despite controversy, despite Leatherface being a cross-dressing bitch, which he is, a cross-dressing bitch. Now, if this film was not called Leatherface to begin with, it would have been fine. It would have been a good slasher film, but it wasn't. It was called Leatherface: The Next Generation. Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. Despite our bitch of a Leatherface crossdresser, bitch, we have one outstanding, which people should really consider this. We have a very outstanding and upbeat, um, frightening, crazy portrayal of a character played by Matthew McConaughey, which I could really get behind that character because he's a crazy son of a bitch. He really is. And he does good in this movie. He does really good in this movie. He's got like this. He's got like this leg thing on, and it makes electrical noises. Uh, he. A lot of people hate this film. I understand the hate. I do, because Leatherface is in it, and he's a wimp. He's a cross-dressing bitch. Nothing against if you cross-dress. Hey, that's okay. That's your. I'm not judging on that. I'm judging as a Leatherface. It's weird, but it's a weird choice to make a Leatherface film where he cross dresses. I don't. That's just me, but I think this film deserves more. It deserves more of a re-examination due to Matthew McConaughey's brilliant performance. He gives a hell of a performance. All right, all right, all right. He actually says that in the movie. All right, all right, all right. He literally says that. So you have a little dazed and confused reference in there, which is kind of funny. You know, you could tell that the people that Leatherface's his family they work for this secret sort of society, and they like to scare people. It didn't really make much sense there, but I just love there. Okay, there's good set pieces, and there is atmosphere in this movie. There really is. Renee Zellweger, when she runs away, she jumps out the fucking window. What does Leatherface do? He jumps out the window after her and follows her with a chainsaw. We could have gotten a scarier Leatherface. Yes, I get that. So, I mean, so you have a cross-dressing one, okay, but like, when have you ever seen Leatherface? I don't think I've seen him. Did he climb on the roof in the original? Did he? Well, either way, I like this set piece. We see Renee Zellweger run on the roof, and Leatherface is chasing her on the fucking roof. Then she falls off the roof and falls into this. She falls into like a. It was a nice set. It was a nice set. You could tell there was effort put into the set pieces. Some of the actors were okay. Some of them were bleh. Renee Zellweger did a good job. She did an okay job. In the beginning, you could tell she's got an abusive father, so she, her fighting Leatherface and Matthew McConaughey and this other crazy bitch, you could tell it's kind of like a sort of a revival or a comeback or whatever you want to call it. Like, she's an abuse victim that she's fighting. I love the eerie, dark, foggy roads surrounded by forest, giving a lot of adding a lot of spooky atmosphere. A lot of it, where you don't know if Leatherface will pop out or when. I love that. I love that. Where you don't know he'll come. You don't know what angle. You don't know. There was one thing that was confusing. Or actually, a few things. But Renee Zellweger stays behind, and her friends go ahead of her. But they don't look back. They don't look back to wonder where the fuck she is to begin with. I thought that was kind of weird. That was strange. And then this woman has Renee Zellweger tied up in her trunk, and she's buying pizza. She's buying pizza for she's buying pizza for her family, her Leatherface family. Okay, at that point you're trying to be campy. Admit it, you're trying to be fucking campy. Buying pizza, you're gonna buy pizza. You're gonna bring it back to your cannibal family. Cannibals don't eat pizza, okay? And that's where I say this film is very campy. This film is more about having fun, and you're not supposed to take it seriously, not one bit. It is better, however, than Leatherface 2017, which was a pile of shit. First of all, we got no Leatherface. There was no Leatherface. That movie sucked. The whole thing was about his upbringing, but all we saw was. It's like. The story sucked. There was nothing. I didn't feel like I was watching a Leatherface film. I felt like I was watching. I don't know, let's say. Degrassi, Jersey Shore, maybe. Fucking Shameless. I don't know, you name it. But, I don't know, man. I'm just saying my thoughts. I do think that Texas Chainsaw Massacre Next Generation deserves a little bit more credit because Matthew McConaughey's performance blows it out of the water. He is the interesting part of the movie. He is the scary part. Like, the whole time you're worried about Leatherface, and then here comes Matthew McConaughey pulling up in a pickup truck. You know, he's got all these crazy one-liners, like, and the guy's like, "Oh, Mister, you're scaring me. You're scaring me." Ugh. That made me laugh. And he's like, "Oh, I'm scaring you, son. You don't fucking know fear." He's something like that. No, he said it to Renee Zellweger, is what it was. He said, "I'm scaring you. You don't know scary." It was something like that, something like that. But he does a good job with it, but between his facial expressions, his demeanor, um, he's scary. He really is. Like, he does such a good job on this performance that the film is not about Leatherface. The film is about Matthew McConaughey's character. It's about Vilmer, that character. Just brilliant. Between his facial expressions, his movements, the way he smiles and he looks crazy. I feel like the film deserves a little bit of credit because of Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger. They give a great performance. You can tell after a while, after Renee Zellweger is captured, she's not taking any shit. So she slaps, she bitch slaps Matthew McConaughey a few times, and she's like, "Don't you fucking touch me! Don't you ever fucking touch me! Don't you fucking ever touch me!" Like that, and he's just like staring. He's like, mm. He's pointing at her. Just his attitude. You gotta give credit to. You have to give credit to his attitude. He brings so much zest to the film, lots of spice. Just spicing it up with craziness. Just and Renee Zellweger, you could tell she's losing her fucking marbles and she's not taking any shit after a while. At one point, she gets up and leaves. Again, spoilers, if you've not seen the film, just don't continue this. But she tells Leatherface to shut the fuck up and sit down. And he does. He stands up like, and she's like, "You sit the fuck down." I thought that was funny. There's some funny moments in the movie. There's fun to be had, is what it is. There's fun to be had. Is it brilliant? No. Is it a masterpiece? No. It's not meant to be. Is every Friday the 13th film meant to be a masterpiece? No. I have fun with it. You can have fun with it if you want to, if you give it a chance. Matthew McConaughey is the seller point of the movie. He's the seller point of the movie. Alright, alright, alright. And he says that in the movie. I can't get over that. I just big Dazed and Confused fan, so. But yeah, there's just so much. There's a lot going on in the movie. It's definitely a different sort of take on Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The family. There's a sexy woman, and she's bringing pizza home to the family. You know, it's kind of funny. But there is atmosphere. As much shit as you want to talk, one thing I can give credit to is there is atmosphere with the dark, foggy road. You got your stupid teenagers and you got your dark, foggy road. You don't know what the hell is going to happen. You really don't. I mean, you do and you don't. Like, she goes to, let's call her the sexy woman. Wait, she's actually, let me look up some information here. She is Darla. Wait, no. Is it Darla? Yeah, she's Darla, and she's sort of a radio host. Or who is she in the movie? Well, either way, she's at this sort of place, or whatever you want to call it, and Renee Zellweger and her friends go in there at one point, and they're hiding there. And let me go ahead a little bit. Renee Zellweger runs there to her place, the sexy woman, her place, and she's hiding there, but you could tell that the sexy woman is part of the clan. Which, I mean, you can kind of figure that out from a mile away. I mean, you can kind of feel it, you know. And it's kind of funny, like, along the way, her and this sexy female woman, they sort of bond. I don't know if I'd even call it bonding, but it's kind of like she's banging on her trunk, right? And there's cops in the back, which she had the chance to scream. Like, literally, she had the fucking chance to scream, but she did not fucking take it. And I cannot, it baffles me. She had the chance to fucking scream. There were cops right behind the car. She could have gotten away with it, but she didn't. Renee Zellweger's she's in a fucking black garbage bag in her trunk, and she's like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And she's like, I can poke a hole if you shut up. there's there's cops right there. There's literally cops right there. She could have gotten away with it. Literally, she literally could have. So I'm just sitting there thinking, okay, these two are bonding like sisters. I don't know. You know, one minute she's brushing her hair, another minute she's letting her get beat to death by Matthew McConaughey. 1 minute Matthew McConaughey standing on her neck, choking her like a fucking rag doll, and you could like see her eyeballs getting all big. There is a lot of craziness to the film. There's a lot of craziness. You have to give it credit for the craziness. There's so much craziness. This family is fucking insane. And Matthew McConaughey blows it out of the water. He blows it right the fuck out of the water. And that's one of the big positives of the film. One of the big positives. Well, it's not perfect. It's not Grammy worthy. Well, okay. If I'm maybe being fair, they don't really give Grammys for horror films, but if they did, Matthew McConaughey should be at the top of the fucking list for this movie. Because he did do a good job. I would re-examine it if I were you. If I were you, I would take another look. I would observe, right? Because it is a time waster. It is fun. Again, it's not perfect. I'm not like, ooh, I'm not praising it. It's no Tarantino flick. But it's like, you know, Matthew McConaughey makes it worthy. Even the woman who was bringing the pizza home, she makes it worthy. Darla. Renee Zellweger makes it worthy. We got a cross-dressing Leatherface. Yes, that's a disappointment. Okay. If the movie was not called Leatherface, if the movie was not called Texas Chainsaw Massacre at all, and a different name, it would have been better. It could have been a separate slasher film, and it would have been praised, probably. But yeah, no, that's my thoughts on Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation, starring Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger. Maybe you'd let me know your thoughts down below and how you feel about it. I know it's kind of controversial. Not everyone's going to feel the same. It's okay. Sometimes I prefer pumpkin pie over apple pie. So let me know what you think down below, you know? Peace.